Krishna. Hare Krishna. Start the line. Hare Krishna, my name is Padmaksha Das. Today I will be talking about this important topic of chanting and hearing. We'll sing Radha Madhava prayers, then after that we'll go into the class. Pull up the lyrics here. Prabhu, Amar Prabhu, can you keep that mirroring, the screen mirroring? It's not working, I don't know, some reason.
You are on the same network, right?
Yeah.
Then it should.
Okay, it's working now, right?
I think it's there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for the delay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to ISKCON Columbus Sunday Feast. Before we start the lecture, so we'll continue with the Mangalacharan prayers, then we'll move on to the class. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are talking about this important topic of hearing and chanting, because those are the first two angas of the bhakti where a devotee needs to be focused more. And the topic of the title of my presentation is hearing and chanting. You know, it's an express way to purification, because in bhakti, if you focus more time in this hearing and chanting, our bhakti can be go faster. So nobody wants want to, if you want to travel a long distance, right? Nobody wants to take a freeway, right? Everyone want to take expressway, because there's no hurdles in between and there's no signals, nothing will be there. So you can go on, if you take I-70, it will be on 70 speed limit. So you can go in expressway, right? That's why, like, you know, in bhakti also, yes, we have an expressway. We can go faster in the bhakti path. And but for that we need some purification, right? But what are those purification methods? And so it's called, there are two types of purification. One is the external purification, one is the internal purification. External purification, every day we are doing, like taking bathing and wearing the new clothes and applying a lot of cosmetics and everything. We are applying so many things for external purification. But how many of us think really, are we doing the internal purification also, right? So because we cannot reach inside, you know, outside, like you can apply the soap or like conditioner, anything you can apply. We can clean externally ourselves. But what about internally? How can we reach internal, like within our heart? There are a lot of impurities are there in our heart, right? So how can we clean them? Did we ever think of them, like how can we clean it internally, and how can my impurities will go from inside? So because the purification is really essential, because it removes the material contamination. The contamination is not talking externally, which is internal contamination we are talking about. It's called anarthas, like, you know, there are, like, you know, 8 kind of anarthas, like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. It's like lust, anger and greed, like those many things are there, which are there internally in a subtle manner. So only in sometimes they will come out. They will not show up every time. Sometimes we can see it, like, and all of a sudden they will pop up, right? So we don't, without our intention also, like, you know, when we are in conversation with somebody, is if we don't like something, that anger may come out sometimes, right? So they are there internally, but externally, so all of a sudden we don't see it. So when we purify ourselves, what will happen? It will remove our material contamination from our life. Next thing is, it will free from the material bondage. What is the material bondage here? Material bondage means we came here, we stuck in this world. We don't know how to go back from this world. So life after life, we are taking so many lifetimes. We are coming here, we are staying here, we are staying for some more time, like 60, 70, 80 years. Then we are leaving this body, again we are taking one more body. And this like this, we have this bondage, we are completely bonded in this, the body, that whatever we are talking about. And the purification is essential because we need to develop the bhakti, you know. We talk about this bhakti like in the future slides. So what is the devotion, right? No, who need to be devoted towards? No, how can we develop the bhakti? That we can see it in the later slides as well. Then we have to realize our spiritual identity. What is the spiritual realization that we need to go through, and why we need it? That also we'll see it. And also, like, you know, the experience inner peace and joy. This is what everybody is looking for now. There are like mental cases, like, you know, there are a lot of psychiatric cases are prevalent in this country as well. Because why? Once upon a time, there is a midlife crisis, right? So people of like around 40, above that age, they need to go to midlife crisis because there's no one else to be take care of them, you know. But the age the recent studies it's mentioned that the age group is changed now. The crisis is really in the teenagers right now, because many of the teenagers, they have like all this social media and everything, they are very prevalent in these lives, so they are easily accessible to all the devices, so there's so many social media is there in there, right? So they don't have this peace and joy. Whatever they are thinking is, they are thinking themselves with that media or social media, whatever they are in right now, they think this is the happiness right now. After some time, when they wasted all of their time, when they try to see what is left in their life, there's nothing was there. So they are losing this peace and joy in their life, right? And finally, it will enable our pure chanting of the holy name. Like when we purify ourselves, what will happen? It will enable our pure chanting of the holy name also here. The next thing is, yes, so what are the various means of spiritual purification? The many of the people are going in this world, right? So everybody is trying to in a different ways. Everybody going to churches or mosques or like any other temples. There are many people are going, but what is the spiritual purification they are going through? Is it really purification or not? Right? That we'll see now. So first one will be a good karma. So many of the people think that if I do good karma, the pious activity, they'll think, okay, this will be the purification for myself, right? But in the scriptures, it is mentioned that the purification, whatever the good karma, like I'm not hurting anybody, I'm being nice to everyone, I'm not treating anyone bad and anything like that. I'm going to temple or I'm going to other places. I'm just worshipping and I'm just coming back. I'm not doing anything bad to anybody, right? That's what people will think that. So yes, this good karma definitely will temporarily subdue the impurities, but does not claim the fundamental desire for material enjoyment or falsely claim ownership. So in the scriptures, they give an example of an elephant bathing. An elephant, whenever elephant go to the river, what it will do? It will take gallons and gallons of water. It will pour on his body, and will completely purify itself. Then it will completely clean. As soon as come out of the water, it will do. Immediately will take the dirt and keep it on the body. That's what the elephant will do. So the good karma, whatever the pious activities that we are doing in this world, which is compared to an elephant bathing, right? Yes, we go to temple, we'll do all the homas and yajnas and whatever it is, whatever the ritual is, we are mentioning in the temples, we'll go there, we'll do all of them. But what we are doing once we come out of the temple, right? So that is important. If we don't continue the same thing, so it's not going to be useful. Yes, you are doing good karma, you want to purify yourself, but what are you doing once you come out of the temple, right? That is important. So it's not only just going to the temple. Yes, it will subdue the impurities. As I said, the impurities are there within the heart. How are you cleaning them? Because we are doing the same thing when you come outside, right? So that's compared to the elephant bathing. All these good karma or pious activities, whatever we are doing. Second thing is the gnana marga, which is called metaphysical speculation. This is the one more level higher to the good karma, that what we are doing here. Okay, because it is a step up from the karmic activities, it doesn't sufficiently purify the heart or remove the deep-seated tendencies for material attachment. It's called as gnana marga or yoga marga, because most of them, what they will do, they'll go and meditate, and they will be completely divided from this material world. They'll go into seclusion places like the forest or somewhere else. They want to meditate on the impersonal Brahman, within the heart, the Paramatma is there. So they want to meditate on this one. So this Gnana Marga is, Yoga Marga is compared to that path. So the example for this is cutting the branches of a bamboo tree. We have the bamboo tree. So when you cut the branches of the bamboo tree, what will happen? Immediately after some time, it will again keep growing, right? Because we are not completely uprooting the bamboo tree out of it. So this Gnana Marga is compared to that bamboo tree on the surface level. Yes, we are cutting the weeds. I'm saying no, I don't want to interact with this world. I want to go away from this world. I will be in a secluded place, everything. But what are you doing internally, the thoughts and whatever you have it, how can you be able to clean it up? It's not going to work, right? So this Gnana Marga is compared to that bamboo tree, which is not completely uprooting the roots from the complete earth itself, right? So this is also not going to be work, because this is also spiritual purification, but this is not the highest purification. Yes, this will let you slow down your path, the purification, but it will not completely remove the bad tendencies within our heart. like the so-called yogis, and what they will do, they will practice and everything, but when somebody invited for them, like any inauguration or anything like that, when they go there, what they will do, everybody wants to praise them, because why? They like it. Inside that they have the tendency that yes, now people are inviting me, they're going to be means like keep the garlands on me, everything, facilitate me. So that there's a tendency is there still inside that, but it's not completely going away, right? That's called the second type of purification, which is called Gnana Marga. The third one will be the Bhakti, the devotional service, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because it says it is the culmination of the all purification processes. Because what we are doing the same, whatever the above process, the good karma, we are doing the Gnana Marga, we are also learning the knowledge about the Lord and everything we are doing, but we are not attached to those results. We are completely coming out of those results, like we are not attached to anything, like. So that's called, it is called, this bhakti is the devotional service, the highest path of the purification one needs to go through. Because this one will be taking to the highest, the path, like wherever we want to go here, right? So it mentioned here in the scriptures, it's mentioned that, so this is called a Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram Idamuttamam, Pratyakshavam Gayyam, Susukam Kartumavyam. It says means, so this devotional service is very easy to perform. In order to go through the meditation process like the yogis and jnanis will do. What they will do, they will stand in the sunlight and they'll put a fire around them. They want to meditate on them. Or else they will go into the Himalayas in the cold weather. They want to meditate in the internal Paramatma and everything, right? So, but we are not doing that one. Because it's like, easy path. It's like, they mentioned it's a Raja Vidya, means it's like king of the knowledge. This devotional service is a king of the knowledge. Because in the olden days, like knowledge is not accessible to everyone. Only some people are entitled to get the knowledge. So that kind of knowledge Krishna is giving to us. So Krishna is saying, you take this path, okay, come to this path and understand this path, then you will make your life successful. So in these three types of purifications, the good karma is fine, but it will not completely remove all of the fundamental desire to enjoy. And also Gnana Marga is not completely approve the material tendencies within our heart, but the bhakti is the path which will completely lead to our ultimate goal, that is the Krishna conscious path. Next thing is, so what is our situation in this world, right? We are all coming here. The jiva, we are all called jivas here. So what is our situation in this world? So we are doing the karma, and what will happen when you do the good karma only? What will happen? You will enjoy the material world in this peace. Why? Because most of the people, what they will do, why they will do this good karma? Because they want to go to the higher planets. Where is the Indra Loka, Brahma Loka, some other Loka. They want to go there, they want to enjoy there for some time. But it's mentioned that it's like in a bank account balance. So you have a debit card, you can only use it until you have the balance in the card. After that, what happens? The card is no more usable. You cannot, how much ever you spy, you're not going to decline all the time, right? So this good karma is compared to that one. You may go to the higher planets, the Brahma Loka or Indra Loka, wherever you can go, but the credits in your spiritual account, they will be completely gone. Like after that, there will be nil balance. Immediately, what you need to do? Again, you have to come back to the same material world that we are living right now. That's called the karma is compared to them. Next one is the gnana. I said liberation from the material world. They want to meditate on the impersonal Parama Brahman feature, and that is also not permanent, because when you go to there, so it's like a void, there's nothing is there. So nobody likes to go to a place where nobody existing there, right? We always want to communicate with someone, interact with somebody. So the Brahman realization, like Gnana realization, is like that. They want to go to the Brahman realization, they want to stay there forever. But how long you want to stay there if nobody was there? We always want this interaction with somebody. So this is also compared to that. It's only liberation from the material world, but you're not going to get the complete results. Same thing with the yoga path as well, which is the liberation from the material world. So the bhakti is the one which will take us to the spiritual world. So our means like our goal is to reach that spiritual world where we came from. So that's for that what we need to do is we need to perform this bhakti path. In the scriptures, it's mentioned there are 9 stages of the devotional service. If you see here it starts with hearing and finally it ends with the total surrender. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakhi Jana Atma Nivedana Govinda Dasabi Lasare. So if you see here, there are 9 processes are there here. So in those 9 processes, the first one will be the hearing, then after that will be the chanting. These are the base processes that we need to start with. Why we need to the true purification? It's mentioned that it will happen like in India. So many people they think that when you go to Kumbh Mela, or like if I take a dip in the Ganga river Ganga, all my impurities will go away, right? But those are only for temporary, right? But you're only cleaning from the externally. But what about internally? Like we have so many anarthas inside our heart, like lust, anger, and greed. But what are we doing to clean those the impurities? So many of them, they will go to this the pilgrimage places just to take a dip in the Ganga and just come out of that and thinking that yes, I am purified right now. But as I said like in earlier, the karma kanda activities, when they come outside, what they are doing? They are doing the same thing again and again. So they are not completely purifying here. It's like weeding the garden of the bhakti. So we are growing a nice garden. There are some weeds also on the sides. But all I am thinking is like, see, my garden is growing very nicely. All the flowers are coming, all the fruits are coming, everything is coming. But I don't want to take care of the weeds. Let the weeds grow itself, right? How long those weeds will be? After some time, what happens? Those weeds will take over the actual plant. Then it will kill the actual plant itself. So the bathing in the Ganges is compared to the same way. We are going and taking the bathing, but the weeds are still there. Those weeds we are not taking away, right? So that we want to take out those weeds within our heart. What we need to do? We need to hear about the glories of the Lord Krishna here. And yes, we are not alone in this path. There are many devotees who achieved this purification, right? So don't think that we are only doing it right now, like the hearing and chanting. If you see here, like the Sukadeva Goswami, he purified others through the recitation and chanting of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Parikshit Maharaj, what he did, he heard from Srimad Bhagavatam, from the Sukadeva Goswami. Within 7 days, he went back to the Godhead, right? And also the Arjuna, we all know about Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna was morose at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, he doesn't want to fight and he just gave up like all the weapons and said, Krishna, I don't want to fight because this is too much for me, right? I cannot able to do it, this war. But he took the knowledge from the Krishna, he completely heard the entire Bhagavad Gita. And finally what he said, Nashto moho smriti labda maya achyuta karishye vachanam tava. Yes. So he said like, whatever you do Krishna, whatever you say Krishna, I will do it. That's what Arjuna said, right? Why? Because of this hearing, all his doubts are completely gone from his heart. So that's the reason like, Arjuna also purified with this. And Prahalad Maharaj, he heard this Bhagavatam from Narada Muni in the womb itself, without even coming to out of this material world. So we all saw this movie, Narasimha movie right recently. We all see like how much devotion Prahalad Maharaj did. Why? Because that hearing is so much potent, you can able to hear within the womb itself. We have a center called ISKCON Silicon Valley in Seattle, California. So they have the Sunday school classes for the mothers, the pregnant mothers itself. The pregnant mothers go to the class, and one teacher, like what they will do, they will read the Bhagavatam to the parents. So in that way, what happens? The kids within the womb itself will get to know the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the effect of this hearing process. Then Dhruva Maharaj went to Krishna with material motivations. He wanted a kingdom which is higher than the great grandfather, the Lord Brahma himself. But as soon as Lord Vishnu appears in front of him, he said, I don't want anything else. Which is through the hearing. Again, the Narada Muni came here, he enlightened the Dhruva Maharaj as well. And the Haridas Thakur, he is called Namacharya in our movement. Like he used to chant like 192,000 rounds every day. So it means like, there's so many devotees like this. We can take the examples from them, like how they purified their life. We can also incorporate in our life, right? These are some of the examples. Like this, there are many more devotees are there. And it says, Krishna in this world, he appears as a sound. Bhagavan Shabda Rupena, right? In the previous yugas, if you see, right? So Krishna he personally came. If you like take Treta Yuga, like Satya Yuga or Dwapara Yuga, Krishna came in the form of Lord Ram or Lord Krishna, right? The people can able to see him and they can able to interact with him. But in Kali Yuga, the Lord Krishna not appeared, but nobody knows like how he was appeared, right? So to actually take all these people from this world, Krishna appeared in the form of the holy name, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's why it's mentioned, Bhagavan is Shabdarupena in this Kali Yuga world. So he was in the sound incarnation, he was in this world. So yes, we need to hear his glories and we directly associate with him. So spiritual life is not an imagination, it is a contact to the sound. The first Shabda of this world, like Omkara, which is also came in the form of the hearing sound. Lord Brahma took the birth from Lord Vishnu. What he did, it doesn't see anyone there. Like it's completely dark. But the Lord Krishna within the heart, he gave the direction to the Lord Brahma, saying tapa, that meditate. Means he heard through the Shabda, that hearing sound, then he meditated on Lord Vishnu, entire knowledge was given to the Lord Brahma. That means what? This hearing is the first process that we need to do in the devotional life. As I said, now we'll go into the shloka for today. This is at the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The shloka is like Shunnatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtanaha Hridiyantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suvrut Satam. Okay, so the context here is the sages of the Naimisharanya, and we all know this Sukadeva Goswami spoke this Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. In that assembly, Vasudeva is there, Narada Muni is there, and also Suta Goswami is also present in that assembly. The sages, what they did, they went to Suta Goswami. They are not there part of the this initial narration of the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. They are doing all these karma kanda activities, yajna activities, homas, everything they are doing. They want to understand, what is the Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the highest religion that we need to do, right? That's what they want to understand here. So they went to Suta Goswami and asked, they asked 6 questions to Suta Goswami. And, out of the 6 questions, one of the question is, after Krishna left this world, where Dharma took the shelter, right? That's one of the questions that asked by the sages. And so first we need to understand what is Dharma, right? So what is the Dharma? Can anyone say here what is the Dharma? Righteousness, okay. What else? What is Dharma? So because we all know we all talk about Dharma all the time, right? What is Dharma? What do you mean of Dharma? Yes. Quality of the object, okay. What else?
Supporting the good side and not the bad. Helping intrinsic nature.
Prescribed duty,
Do the right thing.
intrinsic nature, yes, Prabhu?
Following spiritual
Do
books.
the right thing.
Do the right thing, yes.
Following spiritual books.
Okay, yes. So in the scriptures it's mentioned the meaning of Dharma is which is eternal eternal thing, like which is never going to change, right? So eternal thing means like if you take an example of the water, right? So water nature is always liquid, right? Even if you freeze it, like if it make an ice, after some time what happens? It will come to its natural Dharma, that is liquidity. So if you take Dharma of the heat, like the fire, what it is? Hot in nature, heat in nature, right? It's never going to change, right? That is the actual Dharma. Similarly, the Dharma of the living entity is to serve the Lord Krishna. It's like so we forgotten that in this world. So Dharma can be like people misinterpret Dharma in a different way. They think that doing the right thing is the Dharma, right? But for me, it may be right for me, but others may be wrong, right? It may not be the right all the time. If you take water, it is liquid all the time. Dharma is never going to change. So the sages asked Savai pumsan paro dharmo yato bhakti radakshaje ahaitukai apratiyata yayatma suprasidati. That's what he said. So Sutta Goswami mentioned Savai pumsan paro dharma. What is that paro dharma? It says Savai pumsan paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshaje. So performing the devotion to the Lord Krishna is the highest dharma. That's what Sutta Goswami mentioned. And how you need to perform? Ahaituki apratihata. Means there is no break. So I'll come to Sunday today. Next 6 days I'll take a break from devotion. Again I'll come on next Sunday, I'll do it. That is not the actual dharma. Right? Ahaituki apratihata. There is no material desires. Okay, I'll go in front of Krishna, I'll ask for a car, I'll ask for the nice job, nice health, all these things, right? So there's no conditions, right? So if you take the Ganga, right? Ganga, it is born in Himalayas. In this path, how many obstacles may be there? So what is the destination for the Ganga? It has to reach the ocean, right? Never stops anywhere like that. Similarly, when we come to this devotional path, our goal is to reach the Krishna Loka, like the associated with Lord Krishna. So there is no breaks in between. Okay, I'll only do it in the morning and not in the evening. I'll only do it on the Saturday, not on other days. It's not like that. So we should not have any conditions when you are doing the devotion, and also it has to be the continuous process. There's no breaks in this. Okay, that's called dimension. So the parodharma is to worship the lotus feet, the Lord, the Supreme Lord. That's what the Sutta Goswami is mentioning here, right? Because if you see this sloka here, the Shrinvatam Swagataha Krishna. In Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavata we mentioned that there is one sense organ which always be working, even we sleep. That is our ear. Ear will be always awake. Because what happens in the night when you sleep, right? All our sense organs will be in sleep as well. But if you get a phone call, immediately what you'll do? Our ears immediately hear and immediately will attend to the phone, right? So that means what? The hearing will be the very, very important process. And in the hearing has to be what, it will be absorbed hearing. Not like, yes, I'm hearing, but so in the hearing process there are 3 stages are there. One is the Shravanam, second one is the Mananam, and third one will be the Nididhyasanam. There are 3 stages it has to be. Like it's like, yes, somebody is giving the food, somebody keeping the food in our mouth. They keep on pushing, but we are not chewing the food. What will happen after some time? We'll choke and we cannot able to take the food, right? So the food to be digested, what needs to be done? First we need to chew in our mouth, then it will go into our stomach, then what will happen? We can digest the food, right? Similarly, whenever we are hearing the Shravanam, it has to be Mananam, means we have to understand what we heard about it, right? We have to contemplate whatever, if you keep any lecture, like, whenever we hear from somebody else. So what they are saying to me, right? We have to keep on contemplating on that. Once we contemplating on that, what happens? Then we'll do Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana means the application process. When the time comes, yes, I heard something, this is what I understand, how can I apply in my life? Right? There are 3 stages. Similarly, when we take the food, if you are not able to digest, what is the use of eating the food, right? So the Nididhyasana the digestion has to be there. There may be like, we are eating so many foodstuffs, but if it is not able to digest it, it's no use. Similarly, when you are hearing from anyone, we have to understand what I am hearing, why I am hearing for. Okay, that is very, very, very important process here. So what will happen here? Krishna will cleanse us the desire for material enjoyment. We don't need to do anything. Krishna will take care of it. Krishna is said here, whenever we hear, because Krishna is already there in our heart as a Paramatma, as a super soul. So Krishna will take charge of that one. Like, how, like, we all know Dhobi in India, like, washerman. What he will do? They will clean the clothes. So Krishna will become a washerman. When we hearing these glories of about Krishna's and Krishna's pastimes, what happens? Krishna will enter through the ears, it will go into the heart. He will go inside the heart. Then he will start doing the cleaning process. He will take the best of the detergents. There's nothing in this world like those detergents will not be available. Only Krishna can take him with him. Like how when we hear from the pure devotees of the Lord, like any katha that we hear, Krishna what will do is immediately will start cleaning the everything, whatever the desires in our heart. That's the Krishna process is here. And what we need to do, we need to develop the urge to hear his message. We need to have that enthusiasm, the interest. It's not like this simply I'm just keeping a lecture, I'm doing something, I'm just keeping a lecture. Okay, let the lecture complete. Okay, after that I don't remember anything else. No, it's not like that. We need to have that desire to hear and understand the messages. Then Krishna will start doing this process. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Okay, so it will whatever the material desires within our heart, everything will go away when we do this absorbed hearing process. Otherwise, the effects will not going to come. We may hear from so many other reasons, because if you take our material life, right? So when you come to this, means like from the beginning, like when you're growing up, when you go to school or colleges, anywhere, what we are doing? We are hearing, right? We are going to so many colleges and we are from so many professors, right? Whatever we heard, what happens? Immediately the result in the ending up in a job or somewhere else, right? Similarly, whenever we are hearing, what happens? Whether we have to understand whether this is transforming my life or not. If it is not happening, that means what? There is some wrong in my hearing. Okay, I'm not hearing properly. So that contemplation always should be there. Then Krishna said, so if the sincere devotee, you know what? So can someone read the purport here? Let's read.
The Lord is reciprocally responded to his devotees. When he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a few men want to go back to Godhead, but anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects.
Yeah, so if you heard the whatever the one highlighted, Lord Krishna is very eager to take us back to his kingdom, but we are not interested. No, that's our problem. So because Krishna is giving everything to us, but we are not at all interested. Because why? Krishna is there in our heart actually. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaisya sarve rahameva vedyo vedanta krudeva videya chaham. Krishna is within our heart, is giving the remembrance, forgetfulness, everything Krishna is only giving it is. So if you really anxious, yes, I want to get rid of all I want to go away from this material world. I don't want to have these miseries in my life. I don't want to go through all these troubles and this life, right? I don't want to do any of these things. We need to develop that anxiety, we have to, yes, I want to go to Krishna. How can I do it? Whenever we are, when we are in that anxiousness, what happens? Krishna will take us to his kingdom. We don't need to do anything else. All we need to do is just perform this, stay in this devotional path and perform the devotional activity. That's what we need to do. But the problem is, we are not at all interested. The desire is not there in our heart. Yes, we are coming to temple, right? We need to ask the question, why I am coming to the temple, right? Yes, the deities are there and the devotees are there. We need to ask those questions. Yes, what are you doing here? I went to different temples, but they are not doing this. The lectures, whatever the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita we are talking, they are not talking. You are talking. We are chanting Hare Krishna mantra. They are not chanting. Why there is difference between here and there, right? We need to ask these questions. We need to be anxious about it. Because why? This world is not permanent, right? Dukkale mashashvatam. This is meant, it is a miserable place. We need to get out of this world, but what are we doing to get out of this world, right? Or we have to ask these questions. When you are anxious to know about it, then Krishna will start that cleaning process within our heart, right? So Krishna will help the sincere soul return home back to Godhead. And how hearing will remove the obstacles? There is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yashyam Vaishtoya Mananam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsa Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. This is what will happen when we hear about the Lord Krishna stories. What happens? It will remove the lamentation from our life. Does anybody doesn't have the miseries in your life here?
Not on the screen.
It's not gone?
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I just...
Go forward a step. Oh, yeah. Now go. Now go.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. So my question is does anybody doesn't have miseries in your life here? Anyone say I don't have any miseries in my life? Nobody can complain, right? So even we have three types of miseries, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika. Miseries by the other living entities, miseries within our mind. Our mind itself is an enemy for us sometimes. And miseries from the gods, the cyclones or anything else. So everybody is going through this lamentation and illusion and fearfulness, right? Yes, we are always fearful, when my job will be losing, like, when they deport me from this country. Right now, that's a hot topic right now. Like, those ICE agents are in this Columbus right now, and maybe they may find out, like, some small mistake I did 10 years back. They may come to me and they'll just deport me from here. Like, they're always fearful. The students, they cannot work freely outside in the any stores, because they don't know when the people will come and they'll deport me, right? They're like, like this, there is a lot of, everybody is fearful, there's a lamentation and illusion. There's so many things in this world, right? But when we take the shelter of Krishna, when we hear about Krishna, when we chant about Krishna, what happens? Krishna will do that. When we give the oral reception, when we hear the stories of the Krishna, when we do that hearing process, what happens? The feeling for loving devotional service to the Lord Krishna sprouts up. Like, when you plant the seeds in the soil, what happens? If you water it, what happens? The plant will automatically comes out, right? But if you only put a seed, but you're not watering, what happens after some time? It will die, right? It is not going to grow up. Similarly, when we are coming to the devotional path, this is like, devotional creeper, Bhakti Lata Bij, you cannot tell it. We are planting the seed here, the devotional seed, we are planting it. But are we watering every day? That's the question we need to ask. Are we watering? The watering process is the hearing and chanting. If you don't do that hearing and chanting, what happens after some time? That seed will die. That creeper will not grow. In summer, when summer comes, all of us will do the gardening, right? So this is what happens. Like, if you don't water the seeds, what happens? Everything will die. Similarly, when you come to devotional path, if you don't be anxious about this hearing and chanting, this is what will happen. Our devotion will not grow. And we'll simply waste our time in this life, and we'll die end of this life. Again, we'll take one more birth. The similar process will go through. But when we come to this association of the devotees, we need to understand about this process, what we are doing, and we need to be serious about it, right? So we need to be like, don't be like, we need to be sometimes we need to take a risk, right? So one time, one bird trainer, he is training an eagle. Eagle is sitting on a branch. He is trying to make the eagle fly. Eagle is, how much ever he try, the eagle is not even flying. It's always sitting on the branch. So one person passing by, he saw like, what he's doing. He said, like, what are you doing? I make this eagle to fly, but it's not flying. It's only sitting here. So that person said, like, give me one day, I'll make this eagle fly. The next day, the bird trainer came, and lo and behold, the eagle started flying. And he was surprised. What you did? The person said, I just cut off the tree, the branch of the tree. Because there's nothing else to stand, right? For the eagle to do. So as soon as they cut off the branch, what happens? The eagle has no place to stand. Immediately started flying, right? Similarly, in our devotional life also, we are attached to so many things, right? We need to come out. We have to be free from those desires, the attachments, right? The eagle, if the eagle just go and sitting on another branch, that's not going to help, right? Similarly, when we take out the attachments from our life, don't go to new attachments. Those attachments slowly has to go from our life. So that has to be done. We need to be like, take that risk in our life. Yes, what I want in my life, I want Krishna Prema, or like I want to be attached to this, whatever the material things I have, right? So the Vrajabihari Prabhu is mentioning the difference between the kids' toys and adult toys is the size, only size of these things. Kids will be playing with the small like baby toys and everything. They may build the sand castle in the beach. We are building a nice house, right? They may have the small appliances. They'll cook in the baby toys, but we have the other appliances. They have the small things. We have the phones and laptops and everything, right? Only the size of the toys is different. If the kids are building the sand castles in the beach, if the waves may come, the sand castles will go away. The kids will start crying, right? Similarly, what happens if something happens in our lives? That's what we'll do. Oh, I built a nice house, all of a sudden this was broken, that was broken. We are lamenting here. It's that happiness is only for temporary here. It is not going to be permanent. We need to think about the highest happiness where we need to go, right? That's why we need to think. So when we hear from the Krishna stories, what will happen? All this lamentation, illusion and fearfulness will be completely gone away from our life, right? So with our devotional service, all other process will be remain incomplete. We will be very successful person in this world. That is only until our life we exist in this world only. But when you are in the devotional path, our material credit, our whatever credits we have it will carry to the next life also. It will not only for this life, right? So that's what the hearing will remove the obstacles. And Krishna mentioned here, Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna, right? So if you want to see Krishna, we may have to come to temple every Sunday, right? But if you chant Krishna's holy name in order to come to the temple, right? Anytime, whenever, if you want to get up from the bed or in the bed or in the bathroom, anywhere you are in, you can take Krishna now. So it's mentioned like Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binnatvam Nama Namina. So the holy name of Krishna is Krishna himself. As I said, like Krishna came in this world as a Shabda Rupena, as I said earlier, right? Yes, Krishna came in the form of the name itself here. So if we take Krishna's name, Krishna is with us all the time. We don't need to go anywhere else. So that's what the potency of the Lord Krishna here. And what is the qualification that I need for the chanting, right? There's no qualification required. There's not at all, no qualification is required. Any human being can chant. Whether you're educated or not educated, or women or men, or anybody can take the process of the chanting process here. And when you keep chanting, what happens? We need to chant with a faith. Yes, if I study properly, what happens? I will end up in the job, right? We have that faith. Nobody just like that studied and just end up in the job. It's not, nothing was happened, right? Everybody has a faith that I'm going to land up in the job. So because I'm studying right now. Similarly, if you have that faith that, okay, if I chant Krishna's holy name, there's I'll get the Krishna prema, the love of Krishna, I'm going to get it. We need to have that faith. If you have that faith, yes, if you start with the one round of the chanting, right? You don't need to do we have the regulation of 16 rounds doing every day. But you can start with one round of chanting every day. That will not even take 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we have so many things to do in a day. Out of 24 hours, just give 10 minutes to Lord Krishna, right? If you start chanting with a purifying heart, what will happen? You can see the miracles in your life itself, right? All we need to do is just chant and hear. That's the main thing we need to do here. So there's no place, time and cleanliness are not considered here. So it's mentioned whatever we are doing in execution, devotional service, anything we are doing it, what we need to do? We need to add the Hare Krishna mantra to it, right? The holy name is the important process that we need to add it here. So it's a universal access, everybody can able to do it. So there's an advice of Gopala Bhatta Goswami and Sanatana Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilas. They mentioned that, so when we chanting, what happens? We'll be free from all our offenses, right? So when you go to this process, what happens? Immediately hearing and chanting. Because if we don't know the process, how can we know what needs to be done, right? That needs to be heard, then chanted. So when you start chanting, what happens? All of our offenses from our heart will be gone away slowly. It's like a slowly cleaning process, not immediately going to happen, right? So, and then once we, this is Haridas Thakur, she elevated one of the women, she started chanting in front of the Tulsi, right? So when we attach the chanting process, we never don't want to stop it. We always want to chant it. Even when you're going traveling or anywhere else, it's Krishna is, as I said, Krishna is readily available. All we need to do is we need to open our mouth and chant, right? That's very, very easy process. And if you want to do some chanting, what happens? We need to dedicate our time. Not doing with so many distractions. If you try to do the chanting, that's not going to affect, right? Because Krishna said, if you want to go take away the material desires from within your heart, you need to chant with pure heart, right? So whenever you do chanting, we have to dedicate our time. We not to distract from anything else. Yes, this time is for Krishna only. I will not do anything else at this time, right? That's what we need to do. We need to do it in the seclusion here. And this is the path. So everybody wants to, what they want to do? They want to achieve the prema bhakti, the highest form of the bhakti. So initially we are all sadhakas at the beginning stage here, right? This is the path that we need to take it. So in the sadhana path, what we'll do? We'll do the sadhana bhakti. That means what? When you do sadhana, what will happen? It will become sadhya. Means you can able to achieve it. Means when this sadhana process is a very, very important process. As I said, ahayataki apratiyata, we need to do every day. If you start doing it every day, one day what happens? We are going to achieve the highest form of the bhakti, that is Krishna prema, which is the highest goal that we need to reach. So this is the path of progression. But We need to start at least in one round of chanting, like hearing something from the devotees. That's we need to do it in our life, right? And we need to also avoid the, I'm going fast due to time. So we need to avoid the offenses to the holy name also when we are doing chanting. What happened? Srila Prabhupada said when we are doing the chanting, we need to avoid the offenses to the devotees, and we should not chant inattentively, and we should not take the holy name as the ordinary, because in Kali Yuga what happens? The holy name is the holy shelter. Out of all the names, the Krishna came in the form of the holy name. That's the reason we have to take this holy name very seriously. And we need, before we chanting, what happens? You have to think like, why I am chanting? What is the reason for my chanting? Am I able to cultivate the humility or forgiveness, or like so many other things are there? But we need to think about it like why? What is the reason for my chanting? That's what we need to do it like before we chant. So, and if you want to improve our chanting, there are 6 processes mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. This is one of the important shloka we all need to remember, because it mentioned that what are the 6 keys with which we can able to improve our chanting. Mana samvaranam saucham maunam mantrartha chintanam avyakartam nirvedo japa sampatti hetavaha. It's mentioned these are the 6 keys. First one will be the mana samvaranam. What happens? We need to control our mind, right? So we need to always meditate on these 6 processes when we are doing chanting. Then what happens? Saucham, purity. We should be like pure in our heart, and also externally also, if possible, we should be purified. Not like without doing bathing and anything. But if you do purity, the morning bathing, what happens? Then you can have that, bring that purity, purifiedness there. So we need to control our mind, and we need to have the purity, and we need to mantrartha chintanam. We need to contemplate on the meaning of the mantra. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra means, Radha Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service. That's the meaning of the mantra. We need to keep on coming back to this shloka, and we have to always thinking about, yes, am I controlling my mind when I am chanting, right? Am I purifying myself, and also am I controlling the contemplating on the meaning or not? Don't be as I said, no distractions when you are doing chanting. So if you have like too much of distractions around you, you cannot be able to chant properly. Then there is no haste, like I just want to complete my rounds. 16 rounds, I need to complete it. That's not the case, okay? Take more time, that's fine, but we need to do it in a proper way. Like we have to heard each and every syllable. Don't be in a haste like, okay, today I completed all of my 16 rounds. Tomorrow I'll come back. It's not like that. We need to slowly do it, okay? We have to hear and chant and hear. That's the only thing we need to do it here. Srila Prabhupada mentioned, when we chant, we need to, only 2 things should be working. One is hearing and one chanting. There's nothing else should be there. Like so that's avyagratam, that is steadfastness and no haste. Then anirveda, there's no despondency, right? Like you have to patient. It's not like I want to see the results immediately, right? Some people will think like that, okay? I'm chanting, nothing is happening in my life, right? So if it's like an example, if a man and woman, if they married, if the woman says like, I want a child now, it's right now. No, it's not going to happen, right? It will take 9 months. There's a process. If after 9 months you can able to get the child, yes, but you need to wait for that, right? Similarly, when you're chanting, don't be in a hurry, like don't be hasty. You have to be patient. You have to be enthusiastic. Like if I don't see anything in my life, am I doing right thing, chanting correctly or not? That's we have to think about it, right? We have to be patient and enthusiastic. Yes, even if I'm not doing chanting today properly, that's okay. You can come back tomorrow, chant once again, right? So you need to have a patience to do this. Like this, there are 6 keys we need to do it to improve our good japa. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Sharanagati mentioned, right? Don't worry, whatever happens, chant anyway, okay? Doesn't matter whether your mind wanders, chant. No taste for chanting, okay, chant. Lusty desires are coming in your heart, don't worry, just chant. And making offenses, just chant. And even late at night, okay, I'm so busy from the morning to evening, okay? Late at night, I'm sleeping, that's okay. Hare Krishna. Just chant, okay? Don't worry about it. Krishna knows, okay, yes, he's so busy whole day, no? Still, he is not sleeping, he is taking my holy name, that's okay. He's still chanting, right? Okay, let him chant, okay? So don't worry about it. So Sharanagati mentioned that whatever happened, just chant. Okay, whether you're qualified or not, whether I'm following the rules or not, doesn't matter. Just chant the holy names of the Lord Krishna. But don't give up this holy name. That's the one thing we need to understand. Okay, anything happens, don't leave the holy name. You just chant, right? Why we need to chant? It's mentioned that there is no war equals chanting the holy name. There is no knowledge or meditation surpasses it. It gives the highest results and supreme refuge. And finally it says, the holy name is Krishna himself, direct contact with the divine, right? As I said, like we need to go to temple. As soon as we say Hare Krishna, Krishna is within my tongue, Immediately Krishna is dancing on my tongue. And Srila Prabhupada says, if you're thirsty, if I say water, 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 you're not going to quench your thirst. But when you say Krishna, Krishna is immediately there in your tongue. Immediately will manifest. That's the power of the holy name of the Lord Krishna. And Rupa Goswami in Vidagdha Madhava, he mentioned one of the nice shloka. This is one of the beautiful shloka. He is not asking for 1 mouth and 2 ears. He is asking for millions of ears and mouth. Tunde tandavini ratim vitanute tundavali labdyaye karna kroda kadambini gatayate karnadbude dasruham cheta prangana sangini vijayate sarvendriyam kritim mojane janita kriyat biramrutai krishneti varnadvayi. Krishna, those 2 syllables. As soon as he says Krishna, 2 syllables, he is saying, Krishna, I want more mouths and more ears. Because the 2 ears is not enough for me to hear this glories of your holy name, Krishna. Because please give me more and more ears. That's the nectar that Rupa Goswami is relishing when he chants his holy names. We can also do that, right? It's not only for Rupa Goswami, we can also able to access it. We need to start the process somewhere, right? So it mentioned it conquers the activities of the mind, because our mind is everywhere. As soon as we chant the Krishna's holy names, what happens? We can develop the taste for Krishna's holy names, right? It's not only for the acharyas, we can also experience it. I'm not sure how many of you felt it, especially during the holidays, Christmas holidays. There's nothing else to take care, there's no office work, nothing was there. When you take the chanting beats, I experience it, because I don't need to worry about anything, there's no Teams messages, there's nothing else to worry about it, right? When you chant right now, I can feel it, but as soon as everything is over and the busy life started, now I am not feeling the same taste. Because that's the reason we have to dedicate our time to chanting. When we do that, yes, definitely we can relish that holy name. Because we are not spending the time with the holy name, that's why we are not relishing it. So all the acharyas, what they did, they dedicated the time. That's the reason they are asking for more and more mouths and ears. Because the taste, the nectar which is coming out of those 2 syllables, Krishna, which is more relishable. That's the reason they are asking for more and more and more, right? Yeah. So, as I said, now we'll just conclude and we'll say, what are the things which is slowing the purification, right? Inattention, we are not chanting because our mind is elsewhere. And Namaparad, we are making offenses to the devotees and the holy name. Because I'm chanting, but I'm just chanting I'm just chanting, but there's no intention for me to chant. Just like that I'm chanting, right? And the false ego and prestige, desire for recognition. Material attachments, because I'm attached to so many things in this world, because they are not, even though they are not permanent, I'm attached to those things. We have to think how can this will benefit me? I'm so much attached to so many things in the material world, my wealth, my family, my so many things, right? How they will help me get out of this world? That's we need to think about it. And the impatience, we just want quick results. Immediately I just want to happen, I'm chanting, and my purification has to be immediately happen. It's not going to work. Then the poor association. We need to come to this sadhu sangha, the devotees association. When we come here, then we hear in what happens, then we'll understand what the devotees are doing here, right? Then we can able to improve our chanting more and more. If I want to do it alone, it's not going to happen, right? The devotees are the main thing that we need to be purified faster in our devotional life, right? And this one, it may be funny, obstacles for inattentive chanting, right? What will happen? And chanting while someone is speaking, when somebody is in the lecture, I want to chant, complete my rounds, because I don't have time later, I want to complete all my 16 rounds. chanting during sleeping, sleeping and chanting, this is not going to work like. Then chanting while talking, yes, I'm talking to somebody else, but I'm rolling my beads under my bead bag. This is also not going to work. Then chanting with so many distractions, yes, every time we keep, first thing is we need to keep the phone aside when we are chanting it, because that will be the main distraction for us. And recently I heard the new technique, chanting during autopilot. Now the autopilot came, Tesla autopilot came, so whatever autopilot came, so right now what happens, devotees will put it on the autopilot, let me do my chanting, okay? The acharyas not describe that chanting. You have to remember that, okay? So yes, chanting rounds may be completing, but that's not going to yield the results. It's very, very important. And I come up with this, and the fourth monkey has emerged. He sees no one, hears no one, speaks to no one. That's so yes, first thing is we need to purify our life, and with the cheering and chanting, what happens? We need to get rid of the phone. Only when it is required, we need to take up the phone in our hands. Otherwise, phone is just a utility. It's not part of our life. That's what we need to understand. Some people, even though there's nothing comes, they'll think that there's a buzzing sound. Ting! Oh, somebody called me. Let me go and check. But nobody called us. Nobody messaged us. But that thing is there in our mind, right? That's the reason. We need to stay away from this monkey. So definitely, the progress will be definitely there in our life, right? So please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just chant and be happy. That will happen. Our purification will be successful, compulsory in this world. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, yes, we are almost out of the time. I'm not sure if any has any questions. I can answer. Yes, Mata.
Hi, Krishna. Thank you for that class. I missed most of it, but I got 15 minutes on it. So my question is, so there's kind of been two different instructions you just gave. There was one instruction where it said, you should follow and chant Hare Krishna following these rules so you don't commit offenses. And then a couple slides later, you said, regardless of whatever you do, just chant Hare Krishna. So how does one fix their mind? Because, we come with anarthas, we come with desires that come from previous lifetimes, we don't even know what the hell they are. And they're going to come out, so maybe mentally you're trying to just focus and chant Hare Krishna, but there's stuff is still there. So how do you go past being in the moment, trying to be focused, but other things are happening, but still trying to remember both instructions? But you want to remember the first one first.
Yes.
Be more dedicated, be focused, da-da-da. But also it's well, I'm tired, but also just chant anyway. How do you balance that?
Yeah, I know. It's very difficult to do it. I know. It's compared to the baby steps, right? When baby trying to walk, what will happen? So you will fall down and you get up, you will fall down and you will get up, right? So initially when we are doing it, we have to start the process somewhere. We cannot get the results immediately. On this spot, I'm not going to get the results immediately, right? If I start the process somewhere, as all these anarthas are there within my heart, but how can they go? I have to start this process somewhere, chanting this holy name. When we start this process, what happens is there are a lot of distractions will be there, lot of deviations will be there in this path. But if I don't give up, if I continue to do the chanting, then what will happen? Then we'll come to that purified stages, yes, the one day that holy name, water initially it will feel very burdened, very tiresome and everything. One day we feel very tasty. We'll feel nectarian about the same holy name itself. Yes, it will take the time, but as I said, we should not be doing a hasty. No, don't be in a rush. You have to keep doing it. Definitely, there are things, there are processes also there. If I am not doing properly, my material attachments are not going away. My tendencies, sinful tendencies are not going away. Then we need to approach the devotees also that time. Yes, I am doing it the process, but it's not working for me. What is something that I am doing wrong, right? Then if you understand, we inquire from that. So taking the advice from the devotees also will help in going to the next level of the chanting, that pure chanting also. Yeah, it's a baby steps. It's not going to be happen immediately, because in this lifetime we came to Krishna consciousness, but we have so many other lifetimes. We have so much of baggage there in our life, right? But how can we get rid of this? It's not going to happen, right? If somebody is addicted to drugs, if you tell them like immediately give up, it's not going to happen for me. What doctor will say, you just minimize. If you are smoking 10 cigarettes, come to 5, come to 4, 3, 2, 1, like that. One day you'll give it up, right? Similarly, anarthas or attachments, everything, they'll not go away one day. They'll go to slowly come down when you do chanting, come to this temple, participate in the kirtans and associate with the devotees. They'll slowly start going in, Mataji. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I have one thing just to
Yes, bro.
compliment, which worked for me, because the end of the day, we surrender to Krishna. That's the ultimate goal. The chanting is the process. So chanting also, if you complement with the active engagement of ourselves, like either doing services or doing distribution or or preparing prasad of the temple and for deities. So
Yeah.
if you engage, then that whole thing will work for you. And just
Exactly. Yeah. Association is very, very important. You cannot do it alone yourself. You can come here. You can do a lot of services in the temple. That way, you can also come to the understanding that yes, this process is really going to work, because there are many devotees are coming here. They are feeling this. They are doing it. So I can also do it. So that way also it will means like it will come in our life, like coming out of the anarthas and attachments and everything. Yes.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Pratap Shashbaki.
Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yeah. We all stand for the Arati now. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I wasn't here earlier. I thought it was the devotee of the day class in Cincinnati last night, so I was like, well, I already saw the class.
I see. Okay.
I'm disappointed. I'll go watch it all the day.
Sure.
Good job. Ready?